In this video, I'm going to take a second look review into the Robinhood investing app for the UK. If you want to sign up to Robinhood and receive a free share, you could receive a free share of up to $175, although realistically, you're probably going to get around $7. I am not an affiliate, or this video is not even sponsored, so this is just my own view on the Robinhood app. First thing to note is that Robinhood does not currently have a stocks and shares ISA, so if you haven't maxed out your stocks and shares allowance for this year, you're probably going to want to do that before looking into this app. So here is the view when you open the app, and I am filming on a Saturday, so technically the stock market is closed, although there might be some after hours noise that you don't have to really worry about. Robinhood does have 24/5 trading, which means it operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. There might be some changes over the weekend, but it's very low volume, so it's nothing you have to worry about. As you can see, this is the graph of my portfolio balance. Currently my portfolio is worth $354, and this is predominantly almost all of it from the free shares that I've received. I'm very happy for you guys signing up. You can see currently I've had 60 people actually use my link. Many of them are still waiting for their free share. If you sign up and just top up your account with just £1, you will receive a free share worth at least $7. In any case, the graph shows 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, year to date, 1 year, and the total maximum. As you can see, I am up by 28,000%. Don't take this for what it is. Of course, because these were free shares, it's going to look like I'm an expert stock picker, which I'm definitely not. This is all the money that I've ever deposited into the Robinhood app, which is $1.26. You can see that uninvested cash does earn an interest, and currently that is 5% as an annual equivalent rate, which is really good, really high. Unfortunately, Trading 212 does beat this out by 0.2%. So if you're already on Trading 212, chances are that it is a better platform. However, the only good thing about Robinhood that is better than Trading 212 and is worth me making a video about is the fact that their FX fees are much lower. Technically, they charge 0% FX fee, although there is a 0.03% third-party fee, but still 5 times cheaper than Trading 212, which has an FX fee of 0.15%. Although in Trading 212 you can keep your money in dollars. Once you converted it for the first time, you don't really have to then convert and pay that FX fee. But in any case, Robinhood is definitely just an American only for now investing company. You can see that I have 4 current holdings. So just like with Trading 212 or any other investment broker, you have your graph which shows your portfolio. It shows you your cash here at a glance, which is also the same as my buying power. So I can actually buy $1.26 worth of stock if I wanted to. And of course, Robinhood does allow you to buy fractional shares. For example, these are my 5 holdings. I have MasterCard, Johnson & Johnson, Apple, and Nvidia. If I go into MasterCard, for example, you can see the change in value, which is the stock price for this particular company. I really like their UI, the user interface. You can see that the numbers jiggle around really nicely. What you can't see right now is that there is excellent haptic feedback, at least on my phone, when I actually move through the graph. I can feel that with each one, I can feel a notch, and it's a good addition. Trading 212 doesn't have such a thing. In any case, I can see the value of the movement. As you can see, it kind of peaked at $490. I can press this button over here, which will actually expand the screen. And then you can see, of course, we have much more advanced features, which I will not get into, but you have all sorts of stuff here. You can see the price here. You can see the change in price. You can see the volume traded. You can also add all sorts of other indicators. You can change to candlestick here, you can show the hours and all sorts of stuff. Essentially, there is a lot of control. You can add other indicators here, and generally, if you are one of those day traders, there is a lot more control on this app compared to many of the others, such as free trade. Now, as you can see, backing out, you can see this is a candlestick view, but I don't like the candlestick view, so I can easily just change it by pressing the setting button here and then change to line. You can also learn more about these features. For example, learn about line charts by pressing the launch tool button here, and then it will kind of go through the user interface and kind of try to teach you at a glance anyway more about these particular investing or trading features. As you can see, if you're new, you can just use these information overlays and it will kind of help you with everything. What else you can see is when you go into a specific stock, you can see the number of shares you have, which for me with MasterCard, I only have 0.032 shares. You can see the market value of the shares you hold, which is $15.27. You can see the average cost for me, because it was a free share, is 0. That's why, you know, on my portfolio graph, it's saying I have 28,000% return. You can also see my portfolio portfolio diversity, so MasterCard is 4.32% of my total portfolio. I really like to see this. And again, Robinhood are a master of these kind of app investing platforms, so they really know how to do the app. You can also see more information about MasterCard. You can find out about the CEO, employees. You can see certain statistics such as the open and close price, today's high, today's low, market cap, price to earnings ratio, dividend yield, and stuff like that. You can also see recent news that is related to MasterCard. And as we know, news does affect the stock price quite significantly. If something negative happens to a company, typically we do see a shift in the value of the company. You can also see analyst ratings, which I'm really happy to see with a free version here. I am not paying for this Robinhood app. Everything here is free. You can see that based on 39 analysts, 87% say that this is a buy. What they mean is that right now it is priced reasonably well, and expectations are that in the future this company should keep going up. You can also see their earnings, so actual versus estimated, and all sorts of other stuff down here. You can also see that people who own MasterCard, for example, often also own Visa, American Express, two other card or credit card, debit card companies. Adobe, Costco, Microsoft, and stuff like that, all basically technology companies at this point. Now, if I want to go on to my next holding, what I can do is go back, or if I'm still on MasterCard, what I like about this app is that you can just swipe like this and you're onto your next holding. For example, Johnson & Johnson, you can see the price movement. Everything currently is red. In any case, they're showing that, the share price of Johnson & Johnson is down throughout these time periods. If I go to a 5-year period, for example, you can see finally it is up. Here you can see the portfolio diversity, again 2.14% Johnson & Johnson, and everything else that I showed just before. Looking at Apple, here you go, you can see that I have the most holdings in Apple. So quickly at a glance, you can see I have 1.89 shares, and that has a current market value of $320. And of course, by portfolio diversity, 90% of my holding is within Apple. You can also see today's return and total return. Now, if we go back, you can see that the holdings that you do have certain indicators or percentage indicators on them. However, if you click on there, you can display what you want to see. You can display the last price. Here you can see the last price that these shares were trading at. You can also see your equity, so how much you have invested in them, or in other words, what the current value of your holdings is if you were to sell it right at that instant. Currently only Nvidia is in the green, but I'm not too worried about that. You can also see the percentage change, although I'm not too sure what time frame we're talking about here. You can also see today's return. Most of them are going to be red because of course it's Saturday today, and after hours trading, if it's even available on Saturday, is not going to give you the best prices, and spreads on after hours anyway is going to be really high. You can also see total return. So of course, everything is going to be in the green 100% because these were all free shares. But if you bought your own shares, you can see how much you're in the green by, and then that could help you make decisions about your trading needs. You can also see your total percentage change, but of course, because these were free shares, you're not going to see any change here. I prefer equity as it tells me, how much I have invested for each company. So if I were to actually sell one of my stocks, for example, let's go into Nvidia, and then of course, if I want to buy or sell, what I have to do here is press the trade button. Unlike other companies that I review, the buy and sell button is basically static and it stays at the bottom of the screen. I kind of like that. So anyway, you press the green button to trade, and it's very easy. You can either sell or buy. For example, if I did want to buy and I only have $1.26 available, and it tells you that here, I can put in $1, I can review my order and it will execute that at $1. Although right now it is a Saturday, so you might not get anything that you're expecting because of course the spreads are much higher when the markets aren't officially open. So going back, I can press the trade button here. I can also sell my holdings, for example, 980 for Nvidia. What I like is it gives you options $2, $4, and this is usually dynamic. Of course, if I had $500, these buttons will change, but I can also press sell all. And of course, what I like about it is that, it tells you to confirm, and with a confirm, you do have to actually swipe up all the way, and then it will confirm the order. Of course, right now, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to do that, but that covers the basics of the Robinhood app. However, let's just check out some of the other features. Of course, we have the search bar here. We can see the stock screen is here. We can see the companies that have made new 52-week highs, so 1-year highs, 1-year lows also, and daily price jumps. I would recommend to never go here and pick a stock just because of that, unless you really want to take the risk and, invest in companies that are down or up. But don't think just because a company has made a 1-year high that it will keep going up. Anyway, if I go into that, you can see that these companies such as Amazon, Meta, ExxonMobil, Shell, General Electric, so on and so forth, they've made 52-week highs. Now, Robinhood has a wealth of information information, which makes it a great platform. You can see there is a 1D chart here that actually shows you the profile of the value of the stock, which is really weird to see on an investment app. As you can see, if I scroll down, there are some companies with different profiles. But what I want to show you is that there is a wealth of information. They have the charts, they have the 52-week high, they have the price changes, the 1-day change, the volume, the market cap, and stuff like that. And you can actually add these to your watch list. What I also like is the attention to detail. So whenever you're scrolling, for example, if I go all the way here, you can see the ticker codes are still here and they remain on the screen, even though I've scrolled all the way here and I can no longer see what symbol I'm referring to. You can also see daily movers such as these three, but let's go into one, for example. It literally is just a company that has moved a lot today. This has gone up by 12% today, but of course, being a Saturday, I won't actually be trading anything like that because of course there's too much risk involved. Of course, if you know your company, you can always use the search bar. For example, JP Morgan, we can find JP Morgan here, JP Morgan Chase, go into it, and then if we want to buy some, we can go in there, and of course, your purchasing power here will always be available. You can actually put in $1.54 or whatever. Of course, I don't have enough, but you can see the animations are really, really nice. And the haptic feedback is also really, really nice. Next, we will see this option here, which looks like a receipt paper here. If we click that, we can see that we are given the latest news. And this is really nice. It has the two big indices here, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, and it gives you some news articles at a glance. For example, from Fortune. If I click into it, however, it does take me to the Fortune website, which is of course a third-party site. So you do have to be careful sometimes. Do not take all information as it is. Just because it's part of the Robinhood app doesn't mean that it's reliable. Of course, Fortune is a big company, but this news is on a different third-party website. It's always important to understand that. And of course, you can browse it however which way you want. Also, you can find stuff from Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, Bazinga, so big companies they can find out. But essentially, this is kind of like an ad. They are probably making some money through, giving links to these other blogs and news sites, which also make money for advertising. So I guess this is a part that actually subsidizes a lot of the company's profits, although it does cost a lot of money to actually run an investment broker. And lastly, here is my profile menu. You can see my total individual value here, my individual cash. You can see a breakdown of how my money is invested. 94% is in tech, 4% finance, so on and so forth. And of course, here you can actually send people your link if they sign up. You'll receive currently at least $7 when they sign up. So yeah, if you do like the look and feel of this app, $7 is still free $7. So even if you don't use it in the future, that is some free money that you might want to consider having. You can sell your free share straight away, but you have to keep it in your account for 30 days and then you can withdraw it. I'm probably going to keep all this money for now, or at least sell it and keep it in cash, and I'm going to earn a 5% annual equivalent rate. Interestingly, if you do press this button here, it tells you a bit about how the cash interest works. However, if you go to the cash sweep setting here, you can see that if you go all the way down, there is a day trade allowance. There is a day trade limit. If you day trade more than 3 times in a day, it does stop you from doing more trades. If you go into this menu, you can find out more about that. But of course, this kind of app is more catered towards day trading. But if you trade too many times, it could affect the amount of interest you have on your cash. So make sure to check out some of my other videos and I will see you in the next video.